We're going to start out with this little goober kitty right here. Who thinks he's so cute? Don't you, Finn? For those who don't know Finn, he showed up in November 2014. Yes, he did. And he never left. 2 weeks after he showed up, when it became clear he was not going anywhere, I had him neutered, and there he is. My cat hater husband now is very attached to this cat. Yeah, cats do that to you. They know who needs a little bit of kitty love. Yes, they do. You silly old thing. Oh, the vet said he was like a year and a half old when he saw him. So we're going to do something different today. We're going to get back to the garden. I'm not going to show you this close-up garden. It is a mess. I haven't done anything. This is the lumber that was left over from when my son took down the 8 by 20 foot building. It's still got it's got a lot of nails in it that need to be pulled out, and my husband says he doesn't have the strength to pull them out. And honestly, I've taken down a building before, almost single-handedly with him too, but yeah, it's very physical, and I don't know if either one of us feel like doing it. Okay, we're going to the garden. The deer have messed with my fencing. Oh my word. Well, anyway. All right. I don't even remember what is in this dumb bag. I want to show you what I've done to the garden and where we are this year. If I can close this gate. I have to close the gate, sorry. All right. There she is. I haven't started seeds yet. There's no need to. I'm going to have to start them in a couple of weeks, probably. But this is what we did. Let me go in here and I'll show you what my husband did last year. Okay. All right. At the end of the year, what he did, after we removed these were peas. They had all the vines stuck on everything, and down there below there's a section where we grew bell peppers and some broccoli and whatnot. And I grew flowers along here. I still can't find my flower seeds I saved last year. My main jar of them, I don't know where they are. But anyway, he took shavings bags, and every time we did the de-pooping in the morning in the barn, he'd put the shavings in the bag. This is why I had my broken leg and he was doing all the chores by himself. He would put them in the bags, and he would put the bags in the back. There's still a bunch of bags back there. But he took, I don't know how many bags, I don't know, 10, 15 bags, and he just he took the black plastic up. This was covered with black plastic, if you recall. He took that up, which a lot of it is sitting over here. I need a new bunch. And if I'm going to use it, and he laid all the shavings out in each row, covered it, and let it sit all winter long. And I've just in the last day or so begun raking right next to the fence. This is where we're going to plant our peas, right here. And I plant them directly into the ground. I direct sow peas. Our heirloom Crowder peas that originally came from my grandfather's farm. The purple hull peas. I'm going to do lima beans because we really didn't get a lot of lima beans last year. I only had like 4 jars canned or something. He said, let's don't plant on both sides of the fence. We don't need as many peas because I still have quite a few peas and pinto beans canned from last year. He said, let's just do one side. Let's just plant them on one side. So I rake one side for planting. On each row I've done this. And underneath, now what happened, one reason we did this is because, you see, it has a little slope to it. This faces south. This is a great place for a garden. This slopes downhill, and so the soil downhill is much richer and gets more the moisture as the rain used to run downhill. Up here, it had more clay in it, and it was harder. So I said, I told him to compost this stuff here over the winter time, and then when we raked it aside, it was the dirt underneath it was much softer. The worms had done their work, and it's been amended with poopy barn shavings, and I think that might have helped. So this right here is a pile of Mexican oregano that we cannot kill. It wants to take over. My husband says, I think I need to set this on fire. But anyway, so all this thick poopy barn shavings over the winter it's kept all this stuff down, all the stuff from growing back. I mean, this would be full of grass if we didn't do this. So we have gotten this, all this nice, I don't want to get in my fingernails right now, but this is nice dirt right here. Nice rich black dirt. We can grow anything in this. I don't use extra fertilizer. I don't buy commercial fertilizer. But we've done this on every row. We've raked one side of the fence. And one row we'll probably plant tomatoes. And I've raked a row at the bottom clear. Let me get down here. I have to be careful now. I'm sorry if I'm jostling you, but I have to be careful where I walk with my knee still. It's very stiff. I raked one row clean right here. I could plant bell peppers. I could plant broccoli. I could plant a row of tomatoes here because I had tomato cages I could do. But I'll probably plant tomatoes on this row. I'm not sure if I'm planting on the bottom or the top. Last year they were planted near the bottom. I may plant them at the top and plant the peas at the bottom. But I have raked one row where I can plant one long row of something here. I could do two if I wanted to, but I don't want to crowd it out. So you see the color of this dirt. Now there's strawberries growing back underneath there. We can't kill these strawberries. They're wild and regular strawberries. They've cross-pollinated. But we cut the elderberries. Elderberries it was a jungle. My husband cut them way back. He was going to dig them up, but he couldn't do it. These things are just the root systems were just too big. And so these on this side, he just cut way back, and you see they're coming back here. The ones on the other side of the fence are a different variety, I think. They never were as tree-like as the ones on this side. It was a whole different, I got them from two different sellers on eBay, the cuttings, 2 years ago. And, I've still got a few jars of elderberry syrup. So, I do take that quite often. And, I think this will be fine. And he's taken cuttings and he's planted them out of the pasture fence out that way. And there's another fence way over there. He's planted some elderberry cuttings, and some will make it maybe and some won't. But yeah, this is going to be the garden. I just haven't decided if I want the peas up here where they were originally, or if I want to put them down here and rotate my crops a little bit. All the elderberry cuttings from these things are out there. There's a big pile out there. There's a fence that goes across there to keep the chickens in. I don't want them wandering all over the property anymore. And the deer have jumped it and crushed it. And so I said, why don't you just pile the elderberry cuttings there? They're not going to jump the fence with all that there. It's like a big moat. So there's that. And gotta shore up this fence. My peach tree is getting a lot of buds on it. We've put under that ground. We've put azomite. There's a lot of trace minerals. The peaches always get this fungus thing where they start to rot before they get ripe and are very big. And we've always had the problems with peaches here. So I would love to can some peaches. We love peaches. Love peaches warm off the tree. We came here, there were peach trees near the driveway. They always had bad fungus. But we got the azomite. Somebody mentioned that the azomite had cured her fungus on all her peach trees, and I thought, well, worth trying. So the co-op had azomite, and we got it. But anyway, that's what we're doing with the garden. A crazy Easter egger. The Dirty Dozen plus one are out still. I've got to put them in, let the Brahmas out. They've been fussing over nest boxes today. What do you got there? What you got, Julie? Juliet's got her something, and Cricket wants it. Let me tell you a story. Cricket almost got left outside the other night. Yeah. If my husband hadn't gone, they were kicking up a ruckus in the barn after we locked up, and it was getting dusky. It was almost dark outside, and everybody in the barn was kicking up a ruckus. And because we have so many old ones, I said, well, maybe you better go check and see if something happened to somebody. He goes out there. He said, guess who met me at the gate? Cricket. I guess I put them in, and when I got up to the house, I thought, oh darn, I didn't count them. I usually count them because, you know, they're crazy, so you never know. But they were all in a big group at the front door. It was time for them to go in, and I thought, well, they're all in. And I got lazy, and I didn't count. And apparently Cricket was somewhere out here. I looked around, I didn't see her, and everybody seemed to be there, ready to go in, ready for Bruce time. And that little girl, she must have been hiding out here somewhere in a big dust hole or something. I don't know what she was doing, but Miss Independent got left out. And he said she was waiting at the top of the rock wall, I guess waiting, looking at the house, waiting for somebody to come let her go into the barn. I'm just glad he went out to check, or we might have lost her that night. But, you know, you can't, you know, there is human error. I've had chickens for 16 years, and I think we've miscounted or left somebody out maybe 3 times in the whole, you know, 16 years. Nobody has ever gotten killed or anything like that. But, you know, sometimes it happens, and you just... you know, you get overwhelmed and you get too many things on your mind and things happening, and hen fight. And things happen, and I just, you know, I would have felt absolutely horrendous because I've never had a predator loss, and it would have been my fault. It's not Cricket's fault. She's an animal. It's my fault. I'm her keeper. I'm the one. I shouldn't have gotten lazy. I should have gone back and counted, but I didn't. So from now on, I'm going to be very paranoid, especially about this group. This group, there's 13 of them, so you have to count them, and the way I count them, my husband counts 13, 1 to 13. I can't do that. I usually count, okay, I've got 3 buff cochins, I've got 4 splash cochins, and 6 Easter eggers. I count them in groups, so I don't have to lose count trying to go to 13. It's easier that way. So anyway, yeah, Cricket's okay, but man, she could have gotten herself gone, and it would have been the keeper's fault, not chicken's fault. It's never. Yeah, I got ticked at her for being a little misindependent, but you know, ultimately, I'm responsible. We're responsible for her, and yeah, we're only human, but you know, I don't want to have to bear that burden of thinking that I caused her to be killed. You know, that would have killed me. You know, that day that we couldn't find B and she was hiding, I thought she was taken by a predator. You know how that went. That day that I found her she hit the dirt and pile of plastic bags in the barn when they all got scared, and she was not coming out. So you know, she scared us that day. These little Bantam coaching girls, they get independent and they go leave the group. I just had to go get B today, a little bumblebee. They were out free ranging around the garden. Well, not really free ranging in the bigger penned area. It's big enough to call it free ranging. She was out there, and she was on the other side of the garden all by her little self. And I said, B, you cannot be off by yourself. You're going to get yourself killed, girl. So I had to go get her. She wouldn't come. I had to go get her. These little Bantam coaching girls are pretty independent. And these are just nuts. So anyway, that was a garden and a chicken video today. What'd you find, Mr. Forrest? Encouraging Shelby to lay her egg under the roost. That wasn't very nice. Do you have a black feather? He bent down. Looks like he's got a black feather under his hackles. I'm going to have to check that out. What did you find? What did you find, buddy? Well, y'all have a good weekend, and we will talk to y'all later on. Y'all get your survival gardens ready, because food shortages are on the way. And only we can take care of ourselves. It's up to us to do what needs to be done. Have a great weekend, everybody.